Hi YouTube, this is Darkon633 and we're going to take a look at another Transformers review. This time we're going to take a look at the Transformers Time Returns Legends Class Gnaw, which is actually a really awesome release that Hasbro has actually decided to release in the Time Returns line. This is a character that has not gotten any updates since its original inception in the original G1 toy line, so it's really awesome to see any new figure of this particular character, or at least characters, since they are technically army builders. Anyways, it includes the standard card you've seen with the rest of the Time Returns figures, and I think it's still nice to see that it being included. We have a box, obviously, here. It's in the standard Legends class box. It has a picture of Gnaw up here, and his Sharkticon mode. And he transfers in 12 steps, which is actually kind of interesting, since his transformation really isn't all intricate compared to some other characters. We're going to take a look at him more closely. Up close, he's pretty cool looking, actually. I think Hasbro did a pretty decent job with the likeness of the character. Obviously, the ones in the film and the original toy line was a lot bigger, although I could personally say it's not the worst class, actually, for the character. While it'd be nice to see a deluxe scale version of the Sharkticon, I can understand why they would make it in the smaller scale, and it kind of works out in some displays. We're just going to quickly take a standard Titan Master. I just got Clobber here, since in this mode, he can actually operate with the Titan Master. What you're going to do is, using the pegs inside of his mouth, he's just going to kind of chomp over any Titan Master. And pretty much all Titan Masters will be compatible since they are of a very similar design. And basically what they do is they just kind of stand, but also slightly kind of sit down inside the mouth of Sharkticon here. Do need to play around with it, and it kind of looks like this. It's not the most intricate kind of design, but it's still cool, I guess, that they were able to put some kind of little gimmick to use with the Titan Masters. Articulation-wise, in this beast mode, he does have two joints on the legs. The first part is from the shoulder that's going to form the arms of the robot mode, and another one in his elbow here. The hands are also articulated, but they are just on a standard swivel. They are not on ball joints. And the tail isn't articulated since it is just pegged onto the back. It obviously does include the jaw, as you saw earlier, with the Titan Master. And that's about it for this mode. Transformation is actually quite simple. First, we're going to remove the flail from the back of his back there. We're going to open up this entire body, and it'll pretty much split apart since it looks something like this. We're going to turn this around, turn the legs, push up the feet, and you actually do need to turn them around. So it looks like this. You can't just keep the hands like that since they are kind of kibble in robot mode. What we're going to do next is just straighten out the arms. So now we got the Sharkticon's arms. Then we're going to push this component here. And then that will release the head. So now we got Sharkticon in his robot mode. To finish up, we're just going to quickly push in the fin. There is a lot of empty gaps and kibble on the back, but it does look pretty decent from the front. Obviously, in this mode is where it gets a little bit problematic that he is on the smaller scale, since the robot modes were a little bit bigger in the film, and then obviously in the original toy. He can carry the weapon if you wish to, from his hand. And unlike the original toy, this is more kind of towards a kind of gun style mode. The original toy kind of held it like a regular mace, if I remember correctly, but this toy kind of holds it like a gun, so that's kind of weird. Articulation-wise, the head can swivel, and it can kind of bend up and down due to that transformation joint. He does have the same ball-jointed shoulders. Same thing with the elbows, but that's about it, articulation there. He has no waist articulation, but his legs are in some kind of slouching position, so you can kind of only bend it at the knee there. And it does have some outward movement, but articulation-wise, you're not going to get a whole lot in Sharkticon in its entirety. So overall, I think Hasbro did a pretty decent job in creating the Sharkticon in the Titan Returns line. It's still really awesome to see this character even existing in any shape or form outside of the original G1 toy and some of the third-party toys. Transformation is pretty interesting. It's definitely not the most complex, but they did a pretty decent job of transitioning it into this new design. So overall, I think Hasbro did a fantastic job in the overall design and sculpt of the Sharkticon in the modern toy line. And I highly recommend picking this up, especially if you're a fan of army builders or the Sharkticon design in general. I got this at BBTS along with the rest of the legends in this particular wave. And so far, I actually like both Gnaw and Kickback quite a bit. But once we get to Bumblebee, you'll see where it kind of falls flat at that point. Anyways, please comment, subscribe, and check out Hero Club and Hirotaku. Also check out Twitter to DarkCon633, and don't forget to check down the other channels down below. Please check the little bell at the bottom of the screen in order to see my content go up as soon as possible, and I'll be back with more Transformers reviews and more. But for now, I'll be seeing you later, YouTube. Bye.